The case involving 3 men shot and killed execution style at an apartment in Milwaukee is still unsolved. 2 of the victims were brothers, and detectives say it's going to take the whole community to get this killer off the streets.
They ain't in no more pain. They ain't gonna hurt no more.
On March 28th, a day after the triple shooting, droves of people came out to remember the 3 men killed: Anthony Thompson, Tyrese McKinney, Clarence Harris.
When are we gonna stop? When are we gonna love?
The day before this vigil, family members of one of the men called police when they hadn't heard from him. Milwaukee police detectives say they went to the apartment at 54th and Mill Road.
When they got there, they found that the door was ajar to the apartment. And when they entered the apartment, they found that there were 3 adult males that were all deceased of gunshot wounds.
Detective Tim Keller says they believe it happened around 2 in the morning while people were sleeping, which makes what they know about this case limited.
At least one of the victims that resided at the residence where this occurred was engaged in drug dealing from that residence. And that's potentially the motive for this. People sometimes are hesitant to tell us what type of activities their loved one was involved in that could have led to their death. It really does not matter to us other than potentially figuring out a motive. We don't work any less hard on a case just because someone was engaged in drug dealing prior to being killed. We need that information to come forward. And no matter what the information is, if someone in the community knows who is responsible for this, we need a person who's capable of entering someone else's home and killing 3 people to be held accountable so that they can't do this again.
They say what matters most is that lives are lost. There's a killer on the loose, and families have been ripped apart.
2 of the victims were actually siblings. So there was a family that lost a mother that lost 2 sons on that day. And that's an incredibly sad thing when you think about. It's hard enough to lose one person in your family to violence, unexpected violence, but then to lose 2 people at the same time. And then there's another family that lost a loved one. And so that's 2 families that were grieving over something that is just, there's no excuse for what occurred there. None at all. And that's why these people are so dangerous. People that do stuff like this, they're so dangerous. And that's why we need help to solve this.
If you have any information about this triple homicide, call Milwaukee Crime Stoppers at 414-224-TIPS. You can also use the P3 TIPS app. Your identity is always anonymous, and if your tip leads to an arrest, you get a cash reward.